on this one. I'm killing this here. So go get them hush puppies and hit your ass all down the road.
We arrived yesterday in Chaga with a few of my friends, and unfortunately the weather hasn't been so nice, but not as nice as a month ago when I came here for projects with Maldavar. And at that time, during my spare time, I was shooting some surfers with my GoPro and I posted them on Instagram, and I had a few comments about explain to you guys the process behind it.
It's been a long road and we've been walking for a while, but we can't stop now, cause you know that my heart knows that we're supposed to be together even when we're down. No woman, no, I'm ready.
Dive into the gears now. And the first, of course, is the GoPro itself. I'm gonna talk about the GoPro 5. I really love this version because GoPro actually gave you the possibility to play around with some of the settings of your photo and change a bit the picture profile. Once you switch on your GoPro, you have the video mode first, and I go to burst mode. I like this feature because it gives me the possibility to take up to 30 pictures in 3 seconds, which basically gives me more chance to win at the game of hit or miss. Because let's be honest, you're in the water, you don't have a lot of time to frame your shot or be balanced. So the approach right here is quantity over quality. For the other features, I'm going to be very quick. I'm going to tell you what works for me. Regarding the field of view, I like using linear, but it really depends on your situation. Then I activate the Pro Tool mode that allows me to switch to flat for the picture profile, which gives me more freedom in post-production, white balance to auto, and sharpness to low. So the rain stopped and the sky cleared up a bit. We're gonna give it a try and go to Cloud 9 and see if we have some surfers in the water and if the waves are here. The weather conditions are not the best. Actually, there is no waves in Cloud 9, so I decided to go to another spot. And I got a boat for the day with my friend John, right there. This is Rock Island or this is Stimpy? This is Rock Island, okay. One tip that I can give you guys, if you're not familiar with the surf spot that you're shooting at, take some time to actually see where the waves break, see where you can position yourself. Don't jump in and figure it out once you're in the water. It might be too late. But take your time and look around. Get in the water now. Hola, 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 stop the music right here. What is this? I was about to fall of water on your GoPro. But the picture is ruined, you can't do much with it. You can't fix that in post. Keep this part clean. So one of the options is to actually use your tongue. But even when you do that, sometimes you still have a bit of water in it. You still have this blurry effect on your picture and you can't really fix that in post. Example with my buddy Mike. I was shooting him and cleaning my lens with my tongue, and you can see on his arm it's not very sharp, it's actually quite blurry. So it's better than before, but it's not the best solution either. Something that I found that works very well is actually this sports towel. You can find it in Speedo, for instance. It costs like 1,000 pesos maybe, or a bit less. I don't remember exactly the price. So what it does is that it's not really wet, it's not really dry either, but it removes the water that you can have. Just cut a piece of it, you end up with something like that. You roll it, you put it in your pocket when you're in the water, also inside your swimsuit, and that's what you're gonna use to actually clean. Once this one becomes too wet, just have to press it and you're good to go. By the way guys, if you're interested to know more about my editing process on Lightroom, I invite you to stick around until the very end of this video. I'm just gonna share that with you. I'm in a surf spot named Pacifico now. I have a few kids playing behind me on the shore with their surfboard. This is the perfect example to show you guys how you can stay safe and get some extreme feeling kind of shot with a GoPro. Important for you guys when you're shooting in the water with the GoPro 5. Although they're saying that it's waterproof, it's not really waterproof. I already broke 2 of them by diving in the water came into it and it broke. My advice is get this super suit. It costs around 2,000 pesos, but at least your GoPro is safe in it. Next tip is to use a GoPro. This selfie stick will allow you to get much closer to the surfers and at the same time give you more balance if you're holding it with 2 hands. And lastly, these wet shoes. So no, this is not an ad for Mares. I decided to bring them with me this time because, let's face it, I'm a boy from the city and my feet are kind of soft and I have the tendency to cut them on the reef, so nah. Thank you for watching, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and leave a comment if you want me to cover a topic. I will be more than happy to do it. Ciao, guys. As promised, guys, I'm going to show you my process when editing with Lightroom. I'm far from being an expert, so what I'm going to show you here are some basics that I like to use. First, I select my picture and as you can see I have a drop of water on the screen, even though I was being careful, but that still happened. I'm lucky enough this time that the surfer is on the left side, so I can crop it with a 1:1 ratio and the drop is now out of the frame. Then I go to my preset, which are like filters you can find on Instagram for instance, maybe a bit more powerful. I choose one that I like. I usually go for the orange and teal filter, which gives a cinematic look that everybody likes. Then I go to the right side and I start playing a bit with the contrast, the highlight and the shadows of the pictures to adjust everything. I play a bit around with the clarity, vibrance and saturation to my liking. Then you can play a bit more in details for each color by changing a bit the UA, the saturation or the luminance. Because the setting of the GoPro in sharpening were set to low, then we boost the sharpening here, and then I like also boosting the noise releasing. I add a bit of vignette and voila.